Hey everybody, it's Chloe Baggins.
And I am Bushido.
God damn. Oh my god, I can't hear shit out of this. I hate you so much.
Come on, next part.
I can't even focus. Welcome back, guys. I don't know what the hell that was.
You did ask. You gotta go do the next part.
I can't even focus. Bushido.
That's right. That's Mr. Bushido. To all of you.
That was terrible. I was not prepared for that. And I hear a ringing in my ear now.
Welcome back, and today we are reviewing the latest Pixar movie by Disney.
Soul.
Oh, what a good movie, man.
It was surprisingly good.
You know, and surprisingly very original. If y'all ever wondered where all our souls came from, here's a hypothesis movie as to how it happens. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's all about, this
music teacher
who loves his jazz,
played
grew
by
up
Jamie
on
Foxx.
jazz, played by Mr. Jamie Foxx, plays Joe. And Joe gets finally this big gig, his dream gig of performing with this jazz legend.
Played by
Mama T'Challa herself, Mama Wakanda.
Angela Bassett.
She's beautiful though.
She is, and she has just a beautiful voice. Like,
yeah.
Of course she's going to play a strong woman in this film.
She always does. And so Joe gets the big gig, and Joe falls down a manhole, wakes up in this other dimension.
Headed towards the light.
Literally towards the light. And what a really cool way to depict that. Like, you could tell how vast that space was, right?
Yeah.
And it was like this escalator walkway like you see in airports. All the other souls are just sitting there waiting to get to the light. And Joe's like, no, I'm not supposed to be dead right now. I got this big gig.
Well, I'm not supposed to be here. He doesn't realize he's dead yet.
Yeah, he's like, what am I doing here? So he's running back, and he pushes off the edge of it, and he falls all the way down to...
End up coming back to the same place he started.
Yeah, all these, this area, this dimension, this plane of existence where souls are still in their
infantile,
purest form.
Baby souls.
Yeah, and they're they have to go through processing to figure out what's going to be their shtick in life.
You're going to be aloof. Okay, you two can be aloof.
You're going to be socially awkward. You're going to be possessive. You're going to, it was crazy that depending on which hallway or which area they went into, that would result in
what they became
when they came to Earth. And what a really cool original concept to show it that way. I was really impressed.
I thought it was really cool. And in order for them to end up on Earth, they have to find their spark. They get a mentor.
Yeah.
And their mentor is supposed to ignite some sort of fire or
supposed to
spark.
be like a guide to be like, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Or
so that way when you get to Earth, you have an ambition.
Like if you're going to be an artist, you're going to be a photographer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a teacher, whatever, you find out here. This is where it gets pre-programmed within the matrix code of your soul.
You kind of look like the Matrix.
Yeah, it was trippy, man. Wow. It makes you wonder. It's I wonder what I walked through. It makes you wonder, if it was really like that, what area did I walk through that I came out yeah, this is going to be me. That's really cool when it makes you kind of be introspective with yourself. I like that.
So, Joe figures out that if he becomes a mentor, he can help somebody get back down to Earth. And in place of that, his goal is to essentially take that person's spot to end up back down on Earth.
Yeah.
So
He wants the patch, the little checklist on the Boy Scout patch.
Yeah, on their 5.
Once it gets filled in, boom, you're ready to jump from the edge of the precipice, literally jumping down to earth. Literally, like free falling into earth.
So he gets paired up with 22.
22.
Let's talk about how they're already at 1 million something by when they're introduced.
Oh yeah, they're like a gajillion trillion people, and this is 22. Like,
so this means that 22 has been up there, around there, wherever there is,
for a long
time, because she has made everyone cry. They talk about Mother Teresa,
Abraham freaking Lincoln, like, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. You had like Gandhi was the other one. It's like you had like these great people as your mentors, and
you made them cry and give up.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So it's like this soul has been there for like you're the 22nd soul made, and it's
out
like
of all of these souls, 22.
So with that knowledge, you know how they say some people are old souls, like. You know, like I got called that a lot when I was a teenager.
Me
like
too.
I was more mature for my age than my peers around me. People would tell me I have an old soul. It's like,
I got told that.
is that what they mean? Like my soul stuck up there for a while because
I was making everybody cry.
like, hey, who the hell knows? Maybe. And it's like maybe like when 22 finally gets her spark and becomes a living person, she would be considered an old soul because her soul experienced so much already in the other realm of what a trip.
It was crazy. And 22 is voiced by the fantastic, wonderful, hilariously talented Tina Fey from Saturday Night Live fame.
She did really good. She was very witty, smart-ass type of...
That's her.
Yeah. And
that is her.
But and even Joe's like, why do you sound like a middle-aged white lady?
Yes, because she is. Tina Fey
that was funny. That was really funny.
White lady.
Why do you sound like a middle-aged white lady? That was funny. I was laughing at that one.
Because she is.
And so they eventually figure out a way to
end up back on Earth,
cheating the system with the moonwind, right? Moonwind.
Oh, that's right. They find some dippies.
Hippie pirates. I never thought of something I'd ever want to see in a movie, but hippie pirates. What the hell? Why not?
That was so awesome.
That was really cool. How the gurus in real life and like the psychics and like the people that have those connections in the Philippines, we call them albularios, that they can manifest themselves in that ethereal plane because of their abilities in real life. Crazy.
Oh, that movie totally made sense to me.
Crazy. You're like, oh yeah. What? Who's to say that wouldn't happen, man? Who's to say that wouldn't happen?
I agree.
You know?
As somebody who is totally into like moonstones and rocks and gems, chakras, you know, meditation, this movie really hit home for me.
Yeah, and like to be able to manifest yourself like that as a living person, you have to enter the zone. And the zone is like where athletes go when they're really killing it at their sport. Musicians, tattoo artists, when you're just in that like ephemeral, ethereal,
and
elemental.
You get slapped out of it and you end up then you're back in reality.
And how hilarious the main hippie, the captain of the hippie ship, he's a sign twirler.
Who was in this zone?
Who gets in his zone twirling his sign? I'm like, now every time I see one of those guys when I'm at a stoplight, I'm going to be like, are you
in the zone?
Are you in the zone? Are you like helping a lost soul in that ethereal plane?
I loved it.
Great concept. What a way to take those what ifs and like have it make sense in this movie through imagination.
Well,
but so 22 and Joe make it back to the real world. They find Joe's body. Except Joe's in the therapy cat and 22 is inside Joe's body. Like crazy quantum leap action.
I thought that was
hilarious.
Hilarious.
And so now 22 can experience a little slice of life literally through Joe's shoes. They get out of the hospital, they put on a suit, they eat pizza. I mean, little everyday things that we take for granted every day, but to 22, who's never lived a life, they're like big momentous occasions.
She
And I
catches
love,
a seedling.
yeah, the little things from fall during autumn weather.
Yeah.
And I love the scene in the barbershop.
Oh.
Man, I really want to find a barbershop like that, man. We're up here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if there are any barbershops like that.
Probably not. Maybe down south.
Man.
It is really cool and kind of sad. It makes Joe realize that he's not as good of a person as he thought he was.
His barber, because 22 was in Joe's body, she's actually asking all the questions. And then all of a sudden it turns out that, hey, I never really wanted to be a barber. I wanted to be a vet. I got out of the Navy, I had a family, all of a sudden priorities change.
Barber school is cheaper than vet school.
Yeah, and so Joe's watching it through the cat's eyes, and he's realizing, like, oh my God, if I would just stop talking about myself
and music
and jazz, as passionate as I am, let me ask other people about what's passionate about their lives or what they love. And you'd realize you'd enrich your own life that way. That's really cool. Very cool.
Really cool. So, where does it go from there?
Well, I mean, eventually, what is it? 22 catches a seedling, and she has like this an epiphany. She's like, I don't want to leave. Ever. It turns out I like this place. I still want to experience more. And Joe's like, you didn't really live. These are just everyday things. Which is part of the lesson of the movie at the end.
Is that everyday things are the beautiful things of life.
Those are the things you should not take for granted.
Because they're short and
short-lived. That's the whole point of the movie, is that you never know when it might be your time. Mm-hmm. You don't know. You don't know what, if something happens to you, you open your eyes, you're another plane. Can you have an adventure and trying to get back to your body? Who knows? We can't take that for granted. And I think that's really where the movie shines. It's appreciating the small things, appreciating the people in your lives, and really taking the time to accept everything, the good and the bad, and just be thankful that you're able to live another day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie.
So I did not know anything about this movie. I sat down.
Yeah, like the trailer.
I never even watched the trailer. I sat down expecting,
jazz
music. And I'm like, great. I love jazz music, which it did have. And it was really well done. But it was nothing to do with
so much afterlife stuff.
Yeah.
The ins and outs and the rules.
Jerry and
Terry and the abacuses that he's Abakai that he's using to count all the souls. And then the big great beyond going to the light, and then the very important lessons of life, and Joe mending that tension with his mom, because mom's like, just focus on a career, but he's like, Mom, this is why can't I do both? Why can't I have a career and do my passion? Dad loved this stuff. I love this stuff because of Dad. It's those little things that makes the movie so very relatable. You don't have to be a jazz player to be able to connect with Joe and his pursuit of happiness. So I think the one thing that I wish they did was, once, Joe is able to help 22 ultimately fill up her Boy Scout passion, she finds her spark. I wanted to know what her spark was.
I know. I wanted them to cross paths. But
that's what I thought there'd be, like a post-credit scene where Joe's a little bit older. He runs across this little girl, and for some reason they have this immediate connection. And Joe's like, "Oh my God, you're 22," and you find out what it was that had inspired her finally to come.
I think I know you from somewhere.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Also happens to us a lot in life. Like you meet somebody and you just automatically connect with them. Like, I feel like I know you. I've met you before. But you've never met them.
Who knows if you met them up in the processing center?
I bet you I met you in the processing center.
I don't know. I know I was a samurai.
No, I think our souls met a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I hated you then too.
And I think that's the cool part of this movie, because it's so viable to be the case in real life. Because you never know. How the hell do you know until you get there? Right?
It's a true story.
Oh, what a great movie. Pixar did it again. What would you give it?
I think I would give this movie 9 out of 10, Bagginses. I really, really liked it. I think it probably If anything, the only things I would fix would, it could have been a little longer.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit longer. I feel like by the time Joe had his gig and then, 22 became a lost soul, it got so, it wanted to wrap up so quickly.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's because it's geared towards, younger demographic with shorter attention spans.
Even though the beefier lessons are for us,
Well, there's little kids who can pick up, they're really intuitive. So I don't even necessarily say that it's for our age demographic. I just think it could have been longer.
Yeah,
so that's why
20 minutes, half an hour, that would have been cool.
Even 10.
Just because
just to see where 22 ends
I
up.
really want to see where, I feel like there's a scene missing where it
Yeah.
shows 22 and what happened with her.
Yeah.
And I think that was cool too, that the big revelation was that last spot, that spark isn't your passion. It isn't your talent. It's just your desire to live.
Want to live.
Your want to live. And that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I think because so much of the movie was focused on 22 figuring out what her reason for being would be. They should have at least given us a hint or shown her in her physical life.
Yeah.
To see what she would look like, in her human body.
Is she a middle-aged white woman?
Did she end up becoming a middle-aged white woman? Oh, man. And because there was so much, when that seedling leaf fell on her hand, there was so much, emphasis on it. That's why it's what did that do? What was the significance there? I thought, I'm maybe she's going to be an engineer or something.
It really left us wanting more. And so because of that, that's why I rate it 9 out of 10. What about you?
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
I thought for sure you would have been 9.
No, 8 out of 10. Because I really wish they had, I felt kind of left hanging that.
You wanted even more than what I wanted.
So yeah, I feel like because there was so much emphasis put on 22 finding her reason to live, and then not showing us a tidbit, and even just a little bit of her human life.
Even at 30 seconds.
I feel like I was kind of left hanging because the whole time I'm like, there's going to be a post-credit scene, right? There's going to be a post-credit scene. This is Disney, no post-credit scene. With her or Joe, it's like, so then, do you naturally want to know how did she end up?
Yeah.
So that's my only big quandary with the film. That's my one negative. But other than that, I thought it was a fantastic movie. What an original concept to show how souls come about and what makes us different from each other. That was really cool. Without, because some people aren't religious, and that's fine. They didn't go into the great beyond. They didn't show what was beyond the big light. They didn't show God or anything like that. They just showed a in-between land of soul processing.
So with that being said, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy Soul? I wish that they would have gone a little bit deeper. What did you guys want to see happen?
And answer below. What did you think? What hallway did you go through as a baby soul to make you who you are today?
What hallway did you go through?
The Bushido hallway. That's what I went
through. The samurai hallway?
That's what I went through. But no, I would like to, because we all have our idiosyncrasies. What do you all think was your defining soul processing quality if you were in that ethereal realm?
Mine would have been Mother Teresa.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like helping other people.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post new things. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and give a shout out to the Bushido. And the Baggins. And that's Baby Bowie right there saying hello. And with that being said,
be good to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and no matter what, be excellent to each other.
And Wakanda forever.
And ever.